At Direct Service Overhead, we know how much trust you put in the individuals who have the privilege of working on the components of your home. We understand that a broken garage door is the last thing you want to be worried about, and most of the time, doors break at the most inconvenient times. Our professionally trained technicians service 24 hours a day, and our high-cycle parts are guaranteed to make a noticeable impact on your garage door without putting a damper on your wallet. If you're looking for need of assistance maintaining your current garage door, our team has the experience and expertise to deliver the results you deserve. Give Direct Service Overhead a call today or visit us online to learn more.
All right, tough one to swallow. Arkansas falling a little short. Coming up just a little bit short. Never fun to watch things come to an end like that, just like last year. But you know what? All the hell with it. 3, 2, 1. Yo. What's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to the Pig Trail Network YouTube channel. I'm Ty Hudson. Yeah, do me a favor. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm loving this flux of subscribers we're getting to the channel. This is incredible. Really, it is. Inching our way to 800,000 total views. It's just amazing. What a season it's been. I love doing these post games with you guys. It's been a blast, really has. They've all been fun. The halftime and pregame shows that I've been doing on Discord, really, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing them. And yeah, shout out to all you guys who've been here. A lot of you are regulars. A lot of you who are active in chat. Even some of the PTN creepers. I don't know who you are, but I do appreciate you. You're just here to listen. That's all, and I appreciate you just as much. So much love to all you guys. Again, a great season. Comes to an end tonight. Arkansas falling to Duke. Fortunately, it wasn't a 20-point blowout like it could have been. So we'll get into this game and discuss it a little bit. Not a great day for Arkansas athletics. Arkansas also dropping the Mizzou game. That's back-to-back games Mizzou has either won or made it an interesting matchup. So Arkansas baseball has some boy, they got to get something going. I don't know what was going on. I think they ended the game with like 6 hits today or something. you're not going to hit. You're not going to hit great every single game. I get that, but yeah, little salt on the wound losing to Mizzou today. Not going to lie, but hopefully you can take the series tomorrow. All right, do me a favor, guys. If you haven't already, again, please, if you would, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Shout out to Patreon supporters, and of course to the Pig Trail Network's sponsored direct service overhead. This is not possible without them. Travis Ford and the boys. Shout out to those guys. They offer same-day services. They do. Emergency service, 24/7, 365 days a year, hundreds of 5-star reviews, affordable outcomes, better than best results. Give them a call today at 501-244-3667. Again, that's direct service overhead, the Garage Door Company. 501-244-3667. Yeah. Where to begin? What do you think Arkansas's biggest issue was tonight? What was it truly the officiating, or was it just the fact that North Carolina, that Duke is just really, really talented? Was it Arkansas couldn't rebound to save their lives? Was it that they couldn't get any calls going their way underneath the rim, especially in the first half? It seemed like Arkansas wasn't allowed to play defense under the rim. Duke could. They could make all kinds of contact. Arkansas couldn't look at those guys wrong without getting called for a foul. I think that was something they had to deal with. But officiating was not the sole problem. If you're here, if you're in our Discord, if you're saying this was all on officiating, I don't think you watched the game at all. I don't know that you really, or you just had your hog goggles on for a little bit too long. I will agree that officiating was a little rough tonight, no doubt about it. But Duke is just really good. I think they that second half in their last game, I think they woke up offensively a little bit, and they carried it over into this game. Like I said, even though I took Arkansas by a small margin, I like the Hogs. I had them at +4. I had the Razorbacks winning by 4, and they led for the first five or so minutes of this ball game. It looked like it was going to be a damn good game. It looked like a couple lead changes early on. It looked like this could be a pretty good game, and it seemed like every time Arkansas was about to go on a run, here comes a whistle. Here comes a whistle. Or Duke gets away with all kinds of contact and nothing, and they're there for the rebound. Offensive rebounds killed them. Rebounding, period, killed them tonight. They had, I don't know how many second chance shots in the first half. I think it was 6 is what we said. One too many. A lot of problems. Yeah, I don't subscribe to the idea that this was all in officiating either. I think there were some issues, but I don't know, something's going on with the live streams, kind of messing up here. I don't know if you guys can still see me or not. Okay. Over the back, putbacks were the problem in the first half. Yeah, okay, but regardless, they were getting second chance shots. They were getting quite a few of them, Austin. I don't think all their offensive rebounds were over the back, my man. Maybe there was 1 or 2 that definitely should have been called. But again, Duke's just a little bit longer. Athletic, more athletic than we wanted to give them credit for coming into this game. They're just better. The talent. Listen, the average star on that floor was a 5-star. I mean, that team is loaded. This is Duke, right? This is Coach K. This guy's been here. This guy has been here. He knows what to do. This isn't his first rodeo. It's not Muss's either. Muss's second time in the Elite Eight. Back-to-back years, he gets eliminated. Boy, you're knocking on the door. Arkansas basketball is knocking on the door. It's just they're so close. I feel like they're so close. I realize this game got a little out of hand for a little bit. Arkansas kind of closed that gap up in the final 7 minutes or so. I know Duke was letting up in the final 2 or 3 minutes, and it allowed you to bring it into single digits, but I still think Arkansas is just so damn close. I think Duke played lights out. That was probably the best they've played this entire tournament. Honestly, that's probably the best game they've put together. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were great during the season. I get it, they were, but they were reading some of their Twitter, reading some of their fan reactions, what was out there already. Late in the second half, fans were just couldn't believe Arkansas's an elite defense, and it looked pretty easy for them. I swear to God, these guys were 90% 10 feet from the rim. I have never seen a team shoot lights out around the rim like that. We've not seen anything like that. They were lights out. They killed you around the rim. All that defense around the iron for Arkansas, this game was just non-existent. And again, it speaks to what Duke is able to do. We got beat. Not sure what you mean there. The problem was Williams out likes in. He cost us 12 points in 2 minutes. I don't know about that. That's a little dramatic, Sean. Come on now. Don't be a victim to the moment. Listen, Duke is a good team. You have to tip the cap, and it would not shock anybody for these guys to win it all. Of course not. Brad Caldwell, credit where it's due. They played great. They did. Duke played absolutely lights out. This was the best complete game. Listen, go read their Twitter. Several fans saying this is the most complete game we've played. I mean, and they did, man. They put it to you. Arkansas couldn't, despite shooting, 40% in the first half from outside. This has kind of been, listen, that 2-3 zone, I mean, it shut them down. J.D. Notae could not drive the lane. They did not give up easy lanes, especially to J.D. Notae. It's very clear. The game plan, and it's not like Arkansas hasn't seen this before. The game plan, it's to limit J.D. Notae's effectiveness as a scorer. And that is exactly what they did. Yeah, he still had 14 points. He fouled out. He got hit with a couple really soft fouls. Shouldn't have fouled out in that game, no doubt. But that 2-3 zone, man, using their length, their size, their athleticism, their talent. I mean, guys, there's legit NBA first-round talent on that floor. And they used every bit of it to contain what Arkansas tries to do on offense. Arkansas likes to get to the free throw line. Couldn't do it. I thought, again, I hadn't seen a team, first off, shoot as effective as they did. Again, 10 feet right in front of the net, man. I swear they had to be shooting like 80% there. It was ridiculous. And then for them to execute on defense the way that they did. Arkansas all year has kind of struggled. If Notae gets knocked out of the game, then you've needed to rely on Devo Davis, or you've needed to rely on getting to the free throw line. You've needed to rely on Amude doing his thing outside, and they just absolutely struggled. I mean, it worked for them. What Duke did, it worked for them because they're better than some of the teams that tried that against Arkansas. They're just better. They executed better. They're very, very well coached, no doubt about that. Ty, do you think JD and Williams will come back next year? Neither one of them are sniffing the first round. I think they'd be crazy to leave. But then again, you know what? You never know. You can make a little bit of money maybe in Europe or somewhere. I think they ought to come back, but of course I do. I'm a little biased towards the Razorbacks. I hope Devo doesn't transfer. I thought Devo came in and played pretty damn well. And I love the way that Devo and J. Will hustled in this game. I saw people in Discord blaming J-Dub. Like, what are you talking about, man? Victims of the moment, I swear. Like, J. Will played his ass off tonight, man. You have to give that kid credit. I agree with having a second big that is serviceable scorer and animal rebounder. God, they're so close. We can all feel it. They're so close. I know they are. This game doesn't feel like it because it got a little out of hand, but it just feels like Muss is so damn close. And if you get J-Dub back and you get JD Notae, you get Devo, and then with all these new additions, dude, I mean, they're gonna be rated pretty high, preseason top 25. I feel like they'll start to cave in a little bit and give Arkansas some damn respect. Back-to-back Elite Eights, and you have the number 2 recruiting class, and possibly J-Dub and J Will, 2 all SEC players. Devo Davis, who at times came off the bench this year and was phenomenal. Haas says Duke is a complete squad. This loss doesn't hurt as bad. We could have lost to St. Peter's and said, I don't think that Arkansas, and I agree with that, John. I do. I don't think Arkansas, and again, you have to give Duke a lot of credit for the way that they played and the way they were able to kind of contain Arkansas. And again, that 2-3 zone was just, they executed it so well. But, you know, and I know it's easy to say this because it's a loss. That was not their best. That was not their best performance tonight. I realize they shot well outside. I mean, how often have we talked about Arkansas shooting 40% in a single half? Not often. Not very often. You know, we can argue about over the back calls. Look, man, if you think that it came down to that, like, I get it. I definitely think there were at least a couple they could have called for sure. I don't know about 3 or 4, whatever. I didn't see that, but there were definitely some you know, didn't feel like it was called on both ends of the floor, but that has nothing. Listen, it was a tall hill to climb, but I think we kind of already knew that coming into this. At the end of the day, Duke is just a better team. They're a better squad, man. You know, Arkansas's good, but they're just not there yet. They're just not there yet with Duke. And I know that's hard to hear. That is so hard to hear, especially with the way Arkansas played in the second half of this season. The way they dealt with Tennessee, Auburn, on the road against Florida. I realize Florida wasn't great, but still winning down there. You cannot, you know, devalue that win. It's a tough place for Arkansas to win. Sweeping LSU, you know, it's hard to say it, but that is just how good Duke is. And you would say that about 90% of college basketball teams. I mean, they are one of the premier teams in college basketball for a reason. Adis back next year. Nobody picked Arkansas to beat Gonzaga. That is also true. Arkansas overachieved this year, big time. Good news. Arkansas is back, and Kentucky's in shambles. I don't know about shambles, but you know, the team that beat them is still alive in the tournament. So I'm not willing to say they're in shambles, Michael, but you know, I don't know how they feel about that extension with Coach with Calipari. And I don't know about overachieved. I kind of feel like Arkansas, maybe a little bit. I mean, I kind of feel like they're where they should be. You know, I do. I said at the beginning of the year, they're a Sweet 16 caliber team, just like I did last year. That's what they are. They struggled. You know, I think rightfully so. Myself and a lot of people knocked them completely out of the tournament at that given time. And I told you guys repeatedly, I said, they got to play their way back in. Right now, I've got them out. And then they completely turned it around. And they got back to playing at the level that I think a lot of us felt like they could get back to. And then their defense really turned it on. I do think they were one of the better. I think they were the best defense in this tournament up until tonight. I mean, it's just that simple. Up until tonight, they were the best defense in this tournament. More so than Houston, more so than Texas Tech, more, you know, name anybody. I thought they were a better, more complete defense up until tonight. They didn't play their best game, and they had to play A+ tonight. I had Arkansas +4. I liked them by 4. I didn't have, like I told you guys in the pregame show in Discord, didn't have a lot of confidence in my score, but I felt like Arkansas should still win it. But not shocked that they lost. Nobody should be. Nobody should be shocked that they lost tonight. You should be a little surprised that, you know, their offensive effort tonight left a little bit to be desired for sure. Ty, do you think Muss will get some of those 5-star Coach K recruits in the coming years? Thomas, this class is loaded. Arkansas is the number 2 rated class this year. I mean, this class is loaded. I don't know, you know, we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it, just about like what that roster is going to look like. They're going to be loaded, right? Is it just me, or did we the screws from the refs all 3 games of this tourney? Like I said, it didn't beat us tonight, but just felt like we can't buy rim fouls. I'll say this much: I thought they could not buy a foul under the rim. I was so shocked at how much they were. I was shocked at how much they were letting Duke get away with, and Arkansas getting those same calls on the other end of the floor. It was shocking. Like, that play on Wade where they hit him with the travel, the dude clearly fouled him. Nothing. And then he gets called on the other end of the floor. It was just it's like Arkansas would shrink the lead down to 5 or 6, whatever it was, and then here come the fouls. Now, I'm not saying that they were – I don't buy into the tinfoil hat. You guys know this. Those of you who've watched me long enough, I don't buy into the tinfoil hat bullshit about how everyone hates Arkansas or the refs are in bed with Duke. No, they just get games wrong, or they just miss some pretty blatant calls, or they give the other team the benefit of the doubt. Arkansas, they weren't doing it. Now, you did get Jalen Williams had 3 fouls in a minute in the first half. He drew 3 fouls. He had 2 charges, and he drew a foul on the other end of the floor. Like, that was terrific. No one was saying anything about officiating then. Well, okay, I take that back. There were a few people in Discord that were. But, look, man, I mean, I thought the effort tonight from a few players was great. A couple other guys, not so much. You didn't get some calls that you definitely should have gotten. They got away with a little more, but regardless, even with those calls, Duke still wins this game. I think if they play the way they did in the second half against Texas Tech and the way they did tonight, if they continue to build off what they've done in these last couple of games, no one's beating Duke. And it might be just like last year where Baylor advances and wins it all. Absolutely. Michael Hamilton says, what a year. I agree. No chance NCAA is letting Coach K lose. Yeah, Jacob, that's just tinfoil hat. Like, it just is. It's just tinfoil hat, man. Where was the blue blood privilege against Kentucky for the Peacocks? Right? Where was it? Where there's look at the 1 seeds that have been eliminated in this tournament. I don't buy that. I don't buy that they're in bed with the blue bloods. That's ridiculous. Was it a not very good officiated game? Sure. But I think even despite that, even if you got the calls on both ends of the floor, Duke was just shooting out of their minds around the rim. Arkansas had no answer. Like, you could sit there and blame officiating all you want. Like, you can sit here and make the claim, and I'll agree, there were some very poorly missed calls. Absolutely. But then you've got to answer for what the hell happened to Arkansas defensively around the rim. You got to answer why did the officiating not stop Duke shooting 54% tonight? Is that officiating, or is that just Duke shooting lights out? I think that's Duke. I think that's Arkansas. I thought at times they were a little sloppy on defense, and it showed. They got blown by. J.D. Notae got blown by a couple of times. He was caught out of position. They ended up shooting 40% outside in the first half. I don't think they hit a 3 until their second half, if I recall. They were 16 of 18. They did shoot 7 more shots at the line. They got hit with 15 fouls. We got hit with 15 fouls. They shot, Arkansas, by the way, I don't know if this has happened all year, in double-digit free throw shots. They were 100% tonight. They were 11 for 11. But they shot 54%. 2-point shots, or overall shooting, sorry. For their starting 5 in double digits. Williams had a double-double. 3 offensive rebounds, 9 defensive rebounds. 12 points, 12 rebounds. I mean, you have to explain to me if this was all officiating, then you have to answer these questions, right? That's why I don't buy into that. They just shot out of their mind. Bad calls, but Duke out rebounded and shot well. Hard combo to beat. Exactly. Yeah, you didn't get calls, and again, I agree that it was a hurdle that you had to overcome tonight. I agree with that. Brandon Nell says, because they will call a foul on you. But they still had to make the shots, Brandon. I agree. Tonight is the first time some of our guys look tired. We are usually wearing teams down. Yeah, I just thought they looked a little out of place. They got beat off the dribble. I know he's slow-footed, but Vanover should have gotten – no, I don't think Vanover should have been on the floor. Duke won outright. Congrats to them. There you go. Tip the cap. The refs would call fouls almost every other time we got a run going. Not that is the only reason we lost, but it doesn't help. Right. Yeah, I mean there were definitely moments where it felt like about every other position they were getting a foul. They were getting something their way. I agree. Ty, yes, the refs didn't lose the game, but if you think the refs get bought with all the money around college sports, you're too smart for that, man. Lance, now that's up for you to prove, though. Like, now you're making an accusation that they're cheating, that Duke was handing them money. Okay, now it's up. The burden of proof is on you. I don't buy that, man. Like, the burden of proof is on you. If you're making the claim that they cheated, then call for a full-scale investigation. And hell, I'll follow it right here. I'll do it. I mean, I hear you. It certainly feels like officiating at times doesn't go in Arkansas's favor. I would argue the other way around. There are probably some teams that would make that same claim against Arkansas. Do you think Jay Will's new found stroke at the free throw line will carry over? I certainly hope so, Dragon. All refs suck, no matter the sport. I think you're probably dead on about that, Alex. I think refs feel pressure coaching Duke in the tournament. They don't want to be the reason why they lose. Coach K's farewell tour. Yeah, Michael, you must have missed the first 4 minutes of this show. Maybe you didn't hear me. I don't think you have selective hearing. I sat here and told you that it was a hurdle that Arkansas had to overcome. I'm simply making the claim that there were other problems that Arkansas had to overcome, which was, some of their defensive effort tonight. Their defensive effort tonight was not the greatest, and you had to overcome Duke's great shooting. I mean, they're a solid shooting team. They shot lights out from about 10 feet in front of the rim. I mean, I realize Arkansas lost. It's real, everyone's angry and upset. But you didn't watch the game if you think this was all officiating. You didn't watch it, or you're just so clearly biased. Got to take the goggles off, right? We talked about that before. Maybe this is Coach Muss Nolan moment where he goes out and gets more bigs. Yeah. When Nolan was told to go get him some men, and then he turned around and won a national title. He got Corliss. Great year. Still hate Duke. And that's the attitude I think you have to have. You had a great year. We can sit here and bicker about officiating all day long. I promise you it's not going to get you very far. If you're going to make the allegation that they're bought and paid for, well, then by God, launch the investigation, okay? Did they lean towards Duke? Michael, yes, they did, Mr. Kopetsky. They absolutely did. You weren't here for the first – you either weren't here or you weren't listening. Like I said, Arkansas had to overcome. It was a hurdle, but it wasn't the biggest hurdle for Arkansas. The biggest hurdle was their defensive effort tonight, a little bit of shot selection, and Duke. Duke was the largest hurdle in this game. They were the largest hurdle for Arkansas to deal with. It's not easy to hear. I get it. Just think Duke was the best team we played all year, and I agree with that, Seth. They were the best team they played. Need more bigs. I was surprised Kamani didn't get more minutes tonight. I don't know what he ended up with. I haven't refreshed that yet, but hell, I don't need Googles to see that Duke gets out about every ticky-tack foul. Did you miss? Are you serious? Did you see that foul they called on Roach on likes? Like, you want to talk about ticky-tack, my man. That was ticky-tack, and that went in Arkansas's favor. Arkansas got a couple of those. They got some love. I don't know why you're arguing with me on that, Michael. I sat here and told you that officiating seemed to lean in their favor. Again, I'll make this loud and clear for you. That wasn't the largest hurdle for Arkansas to overcome. It was their own defensive efficiencies and Duke. Those were your largest hurdles. I don't know that I've ever had to explain something so many different times. Like, come on, man. Yeah, they went on. Listen, like every time Arkansas would go on a good run, they would cut the lead down. Then they had to overcome the officiating. Like I said, some of you I think are coming in late, man. I think some of you are coming in late. I made that claim. Go back and watch the beginning, please. Go back and listen to the first 10 minutes of this show. Michael, I think you just hate losing in general, and that's okay. That's fine. Nobody likes losing. Duke's bigs were too much for us to handle. Talent level was too much. There you go. Charles Harper, you knocked it out of the park, my man. There you go. Razorbacks Rule says, congrats to Arkansas on a great season. Duke is just more physical, just a more physical basketball team. I thought they were pretty physical tonight. Absolutely. There's no way in hell Duke doesn't drop a bit after Coach K retires. You're probably right about that. We'll see. We'll see about 3 years from now. North Carolina is still moving along pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little surprised. Kopetsky drunk. I think you're right, Hawes. I think there's a couple of people that are just. I get it. Everyone's mad. It's okay. A little pissed off. They don't like hearing someone telling them that, listen, it's not all on officiating. They don't like that. It's just it's tough, man. It's tough to see it come to an end. Like I said, it's tough to see it come to an end. I really thought this was the year they're going to make it to the Final Four and maybe even win it all. I thought with the way they played against the Zags, they weren't going to get beat. I don't think they played at the level, and I think we could all agree with that. If we could all come to one agreement, I don't think they played as good as they did against the Zags. And, yes, you have to give Duke some credit for that, absolutely. It's unfortunate. Yeah, Troy, Duke has the number one class. I think he's talking about with Coach K being retired. We see plenty of teams have great talent. Plenty of teams with great talent. Duke is stacked, but that doesn't mean everything. Sometimes it's just the guy coaching them, right? I think that's what he's getting at. Duke got and will get 50-50 calls. We understand that coming in. But it was our fault for not adjusting and putting ourselves in position to overcome. Yeah, and again, that 2-3 zone was just, God, dude, it was so well executed. Arkansas does have the number 2 class. You damn right. Time for Nick Smith and Walsh. Let's go! That's what I'm talking about, baby. Listen, man, I hate these kind of shows where we're over here bickering about some bullshit. Whatever. Officiating, I don't care. Yes, it was our hurdle. Yes, there were some over the backs that weren't called. Fine. Look at how well they shot. Let's go back. Maybe we should all watch the game again. Whatever. Fine. What matters is listen, the hype should be real going into next year. Or at least Arkansas should be given some damn respect, especially if you get JD Notte back, if you get Jay Will back, Devo. You got to feel pretty damn good about what they have coming back. What Arkansas has coming back and what they have coming with them next year, the new additions. Ty, you going to stream AB's announcement? Is he doing that on Instagram Live? Does anybody know? Does anyone know if he's streaming that on what's he doing on Instagram? That's what they do these days. They do it on Instagram. Oh, Kevin, here we go. Kevin. Yes, Arkansas lost, but you are talking out both sides of your period. Saying refs was not a reason, but refs did bail out Duke. Oh, God. I need a vacation. Holy shit, man. I need a vacation. Anyways. I swear to God. What? Ty, you said what? Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. I think next year's team will be the one. Yeah. I hope so. I think next year's team's going to be pretty jacked. I know that. I think you're right. Thanks, Ty, for giving a great season of basketball. Great season of content. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, my gosh. When Arkansas was trailing Duke by 12 points, everybody thought we were going to get beat by 20. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And it certainly looked that way. You're not wrong at all. We only lost by 9. Yeah. Muss will get a size in the transfer portal, and we will have a true point guard. You should be better at the one spot next year. I think you are going to be better at the one spot. Refs calls go to the team with the Mo. Duke took it to Arkansas, and you guys got schooled. Stick to football, big boy. All right, Golden Flasher. You must be are you a Duke fan? If not, did your team enjoy watching from home? Did you enjoy watching it from home? Man. And if you're a Duke fan, what are you talking about with, like, oh, man. When is AB's announcement? It's Monday. I don't know the time on that though, Lance. We'll have updates in Discord. Oh, here comes Sir Charles. You probably should have picked Duke to win. Laugh out loud. Who'd you pick, Charles? Come on, tell me. Who'd you pick? So the question is, did the win over Gonzaga help Anthony Black's decision between the Zags and the Hogs? I don't know. Only he would know that. Coach K always plays a schedule that gets their team ready for the NCAA. Yeah. I think that's what Muss tries to do too. But his non-con this year was his non-con schedule this year was not very good. Yeah, it's all on baseball. Hopefully they don't play anymore like they did today. God, it's a good comeback for sure for Mizzou. Thanks for the content, Ty. You were awesome this year. I appreciate that, Wayne. Thanks for all the post-game debriefs, Ty. It's always nice to come celebrate or vent with our Razorback YouTuber. Hey, man, I appreciate that. David Dixon says, go grab you a beer. You deserve it. Brother, let me tell you. Oh, man. Oh, Kent State. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you, Daytona Beach. I appreciate that. God, I cannot get this stupid lid off this bottle. Yeah, Kent State. Who cares who their mascot is? Who really cares? On the side, football is only 5 short months away. Yeah, your point guard next year, probably my boy Nick Smith. He'll be your one. God, that dude's gonna be, man. And just think if you do get him, if you don't get Black, listen, it is what it is. Hopefully you'll have JD Note, hopefully. Definitely didn't like JD losing his mind. What's the chance we lose JD on a decent? I have no idea. I don't know. Anthony Black will be our third wheel to Smith and Walsh if Black picks the Hogs. Yeah, if he's streaming on Instagram, I'll stream it. You know I will. Do you think Note, J-Dub, or Tony stay? I think you have a pretty good shot at getting 2 of those 3 back. That's what I feel like, right? I mean, because 2 of those guys, all 3 of them, none of them are, we're not talking about first-round picks, right? How about J-Dub, though, man? Mad respect for that dude. 4 NCAA tournament games, 4 double-doubles. Like, dude, people talking about J-Dub being a huge problem tonight or whatever in Discord. Y'all are wild, man. You're crazy for that one. Arkansas, listen. Williams has 12 rebounds, 15 points tonight. He got into a little bit of foul trouble. He didn't in the first half. He avoided it in the first half. He did end up with a block. That's back-to-back games. Arkansas actually had more blocks than their opponent. I don't think that happened at all during the regular season. Maybe I'm wrong. They were not a great blocking team this year. 13 assists, like eight turnovers. You were 7 of 25. For them to hit 7 threes, you're going to take that. 40% overall shooting, 64 from the free throw line. It just tells you, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. My bad. I was sitting here thinking that can't be right. JD Note, 5 of 14. That's not great. I'm getting so tired. I didn't take my 5-hour energy drink tonight. But they did end up with 12 assists. It was 11 turnovers is what they ended up with. But Duke turned it over 15 times. 8 assists, 15 turnovers. And that first half was those first 5 minutes, again, you felt like, man, anything's possible. Holy crap, if we can keep this momentum going. It's going to be a back-and-forth game, and then Duke just took over. I've never, listen, 10 feet in front of the rim, those guys made everything. I would pull up that chart, but I don't see it. Yeah, at the end of the night, 34 rebounds, right, to Arkansas's 25. You did end up with 6 steals. It's a little shocking to see Arkansas be this good in some of these numbers, 42% from the field. You were 6 of 20 tonight, by the way. You shot 30%. That's like a percent above your average. They did end up with 5 blocks. Duke, after I refreshed it, Duke did end up with 5. So you tied. So that definitely – Arkansas was not a great blocking team this year. They weren't. 12 assists, man. You had 1 more assist than you did turnover. You were +1 in that category. We've talked about that so many times. It was really nice to see. Devo with 9 points off the bench. I thought Devo played his ass off. 2 turnovers. Note, again, 5 of 14. You're not real thrilled with that, but 14 points. He was 2 for 2 at the line. Only turned the ball over twice. Jay Will ended up with the most turnovers with 3. But at the end of the day, you got out-rebounded. They got a lot of second-chance shots. That number changed in the second half. I think in the first half it was ridiculous. It was like 5 offensive rebounds to 1 or whatever it was. It wasn't very good. But they ended up, Arkansas actually ends up winning the offensive rebound count, but they still beat you 34-25 on the boards. It's just one of those games. These guys shot 55% from the floor. 40% outside. They didn't knock down a single 3 in the first half, and then in the second half they get 4 threes. They were 88, 89%, 16 of 18 from the free throw line. 9 points, from kills. Yeah, 4 of their starting 5 ended up with double-digit points. Williams, who was a problem for them tonight, man. I mean, you talk about boxing out. That guy boxed out Arkansas, the entire team. Like, nobody could out-rebound that cat for a little bit. And, of course, he had those 3 putbacks underneath the rim, 3 offensive rebounds, all 3 of which resulted in points. I'm pretty sure they got points off every single offensive rebound. If not, maybe one. Maybe one of those 7 they didn't get points. Arkansas got a boost there in the second half on the offensive boards. But make no mistake about it, Duke dominated. When it mattered, right? When it mattered on the boards, they absolutely dominated. Not a horrible turnover amount. Again, Duke's not a high, like that was kind of one of their knocks, that they're not a team that forces a lot of turnovers. And Arkansas just turned it over 11 times. I think their average, what was their regular season average? 13, 12, something ridiculous. 11's not great, but it's still not bad. It's definitely not Arkansas's, wasn't their best performance. But they turned it over 15 times, and Arkansas struggled to capitalize. I agree that I thought, and I said this in the halftime show on Discord, I'm not really sure why it was so hard for Arkansas to get a call under the rim. I don't know why it was so difficult for Arkansas to get a call, and then on the other end of the floor, they couldn't look at Duke wrong without getting hit with a foul. Man, you got to give them a lot of credit, though. Again, 4 of their starting 5 in double digits. Griffin ends up being the leading scorer for them with 18. Williams is your leading scorer for Arkansas. He turns the ball over 3 times, but he's 19 points. 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Believe it or not, he's one of the 2 of the starting 5 who didn't get a block. Meanwhile, Note, Amude, and Tony all have at least 1 block. Amude and Note had 4 blocks between the 2 of them. So you tied on the block amount, by the way. Joseph Pinion won't start. It just depends on who comes back, but Pinion's a baller. Don't sleep on Pinion. Yeah, I have no idea who's staying and going. I have no idea. Note leads the team in not hating, just stating facts. Chance Moore is probably gone too. Yeah, now Chance Moore, Connor Vanover, don't know that those guys are going to come back. So, yeah, Duke dominated you inside, no doubt about it. They dominated Arkansas inside. They just had no answer. Arkansas was outmatched every position on the court. Yeah. Doesn't matter what doesn't matter, David? What are you talking about? Yeah, so Note finished with 1,900. I thought I heard that. 1,999 points. 1,999 points. That's his. That's ridiculous. Only complaint with J-Dub is I would like to see him just go up and flush it more. I mean, J-Will is the real deal. Yeah, at times, there are moments where you wish he would just put it up, be a little bit more powerful. But he is a great player, man. J-Will, there's just not enough that can be said about that kid. I'm not big on baseball, so spring football practices will have my full attention. Yeah. I'm not a fan of this time of the year. Yeah, when Arkansas gets eliminated, man, it's not early. You got eliminated late in the tournament. Note, not first round guy. We'll see. Sean, what do you mean by that? Are you saying we're wrong and he is a first round guy? Because I've yet to see a mock draft where he's anywhere near it. I did see one with J-Dub outside the top 40. As a 3-sport lover, there's always another sport to enjoy. Go Hogs. Well, Brady. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, J-Dub was a little cold. You're not wrong. This whole tournament, I thought, he was a leading scorer and all that, but you should go live during the spring game, get that press badge. See, I would go live during the game, but I'd get kicked out of the stadium. Yeah, you got to have a press badge. And even then, even the press can't stream the game. No, he is not first. Okay. All right. I was like, I don't know where you're reading that at. Selfish guards with a low field goal percentage do not get drafted. And there you have it. I mean, look, man, he was a big piece of what they were this year, no doubt about it. You don't go as far as you did without him. No doubt about it. But I just don't think he's NBA talent. Didn't you get a press badge for the women's? I did. You have to actively renew it. And since I don't cover the women any longer, I did when I was doing something else for a show that I co-created. But I just didn't have room on my plate to follow women's sports this year. I just don't have the room. I will say, for those of you who do follow women's basketball, I like Mike Neighbors and all, but how long does that guy keep his job? Honest question. I didn't keep up with him this year. I'll be real honest with you. I didn't follow him. Again, my plate was full with basketball, football, and off season and recruiting, and obviously baseball is going to be next. How long does Mike Neighbors keep his job? I mean, I kind of feel like he's had some pretty good rosters, and that guy, I don't know, man. Like eventually, I get it. He helped turn the program around. I think he's the Mike Anderson equivalent for women's basketball. Now he's done a great job at establishing a little bit more excitement around women's basketball, around Razorback, the Ladybacks. But he just strikes me as a Mike Anderson for the women's. Recruits well. He attracts good talent for them, but now what? Haven't seen him go far in the tournament. Just saying. Would you consider getting a press badge now, or has that ship passed? I just don't know what it would do for me right now. Like in the off season, it would. I mean, I would get an opportunity. I haven't filed for one. I didn't even reach out to the U of A. I never reached out to him. I didn't talk to him at all because it's already really difficult. The way a lot of guys get badges, not everyone, the way a lot of guys get badges. Like if I wanted to pay ESPN, right? If I wanted to pay ESPN and become a part of, if they would have me, and maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. Like the local guys, right? Like Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson. If I wanted to hit them up and be like, hey, I could pay, right? It's like $1,000 a month or something. I could pay. Again, if they would have me, they may not even want me, but I would become kind of a part of their network. I'm just not willing to do that. That soaks up a lot of my cash flow, right? That money's got to go into hardware, software, stuff that I do for the show. And then you get a badge that way. That's the way a lot of, smaller creators do it. And I'm not just talking Arkansas sports. And I'm just not willing to do that. Not right now. And what does it's nice to be able to talk with the players. It's nice to be able to kind of have that connection on the university and everything. But, man, everything I do is right here. Everything I need is right here. I mean, eventually I'm hoping to move into the garage and turn that into a studio room. That's the goal within the next year or two. But everything I need is right here. I have no need to for a badge. Just don't have time for it. Neighbors will stay before the volleyball coach. The volleyball coach is next on the chopping block. Yeah, I mean, sure, I guess, but not been that impressed with the kind of talent he has. I mean, I have people telling me all the time the talent on their roster is good enough to be top four in top four or top five in the SEC, and that's saying something. And the guy can't get past the first round. Ware from North Little Rock is going to Oregon to the coach who mocks Arkansas. What is wrong with that picture? We look tired. Yep, they did. All right. We're coming up on that hour mark. PTN NIL deal. I think inexperience hurt Neighbors this year and last year. Last few, it was size. I mean, eventually it reminds me, and I hear you. I hear you, Lance. I hear what you're saying. But it reminds me a lot of Mike Anderson, where there was an excuse every year. I just wonder if we have high expectations for the women's team, and we should, right? Fans should demand more. It should be treated no different than the men's team. Like, what has he done? I mean, he's done a good job of kind of building a foundation. I'm just wondering if he has another year like he did this last season, where you're kind of average during the regular season, and then you're one and done in the tournament. Do you eventually start? I think he ought to be on the hot seat, if you want my honest opinion. Neighbors gets at least 2 more years. Ooh. Well, I don't know. I kind of feel like all the hype and excitement for women's basketball is kind of fading. Good news is I think they're going to be loaded next year, so we'll see. I haven't kept up with them. Again, I am literally speaking as someone who did not. I maybe watched half of a game this year. There's just so much going on so much on my plate this year. I just didn't have time. I enjoyed. That was fun. Getting the press pass and being able to go to the women's games. Had a lot of fun. And they do strike me as really well-coached teams. There's no doubt Neighbors is a good coach. Oh, hang on. There it goes. Women should have went to the Elite Eight last year. Yeah, man. I mean, it's like every year they have good talent. I just don't get it. Mike Anderson let all of our in-state talent leave on a consistent basis. That is true. He did. He struggled. And that's the flip side. That's the only difference, I think. I'm just saying, like, performance-wise, they don't go. He's yet to make – has he gotten past the second round yet? I don't think he has. Jersey Wolfenberg. She's legit, by the way. Jersey, she is legit. I mean, there's no excuses next year, I don't think. Take the coming 5 and Jay Will. We'll get some good transfers, says Alex. Yeah. Texas Tech. Now, see, what you're saying here, JD, I think there's a legitimate argument here. Read what JD just said. Texas Tech prepared Duke to play us. They're very similar in how they play defense. They're also aggressive. They're physical. Duke, they woke up in the second half, and it's like from that moment on, Duke started playing some pretty good ball, and it prepared them. Arkansas is a better defensive team than Tech, in my opinion. I could maybe, that's fine. Some people will disagree, and that's fine. But I think that's a legitimate argument to make, that they got a chance to deal with a physical defensive team with some good talent. A team, by the way, we should know Texas Tech pretty well from a year ago. I know it's, different coach and different team, but still, they still play a similar style of ball, and they're very physical. And they did this last year, Texas Tech did. I think there's a legitimate argument to make here that that might have helped prepare them. That might have put Arkansas at a big disadvantage. Charles Harper says, Ty, you hit it. Mike Neighbors is a clone. I'm assuming you meant clone of Mike Anderson. Teams are similar. Jack up threes and don't rebound. Kelly Marie says, Jersey's good. She's also a true freshman who needs to put on a lot of weight. Can I be a Mike Anderson fanatic while also being on the Muzz Bus? Yeah, I have no – listen, man, Tony, I know you're Mike Anderson's your boy, and I get it. I like Mike Anderson. Sure. I mean, why not? You can keep your fan card. I will allow it, sir. I will allow it. All right, where are we at the hour mark? Anderson is the nice guy. Hot girls. Oh, I do. I don't need just a beer. I need to go smoke another cigar. That was good. Arkansas got the hardest bracket and made it past Gonzaga. And I agree with that, Michael. I agree. I do. I think you're right. Arkansas had a very difficult side of the bracket, without a doubt. I thought Vermont was a tough round one matchup, and Arkansas answered the call. New Mexico State, I felt pretty comfortable about Arkansas getting by them. Felt pretty good about them getting to the Sweet 16. They did exactly that. Zags made me nervous. I'm not going to lie. You guys know I picked the Zags. I thought the Zags would win, and honestly, I thought what we saw tonight is exactly what I thought the Zags were going to do. You guys go back and look at the prediction. I had what was the score? I had the Zags plus 12. And clearly I was wrong on that one, but I thought what we would see against the Zags is exactly what happened tonight. Maybe I looked a little too far into the future in my crystal ball. I can't read your name, guy with the rainbow sticker avatar. But that's pretty funny. That was a good one. I'll be rewatching the Gonzaga game until November. Yeah, I think we all will. I think David's right. We all will. It was a great moment, man. That was a great moment. Listen, I know there's going to be some people watching this later who are going to misinterpret or just not be on the same page with me on this game, and that's fine. We can all agree to disagree about officiating, although, like I said, I do think it was a hurdle. I do think it leaned in their favor. I do think they got some favorable calls, especially around the rim. But, again, my argument is it wasn't the largest hurdle. The largest hurdle was Duke. It was the talent. It was their size. It was the coaching. I don't buy into that. Again, I don't think there's – Coach K, I don't know. Maybe when that 30 for 30 episode comes out about Duke paying the officials, I'll admit that I'm wrong. But and not that it's the wildest thing to ever happen. Crazier things have happened, and refs being paid off has happened before. But I'm just saying I don't think that's not why you lost tonight. Duke was just such a better team. They're good, man, and it's not going to surprise anybody if they win it all. Tip of the cap, great season for the Hogs, great year for Duke as they continue on into the Final Four. I had a hell of a lot of fun this year. Don't get me wrong. I probably developed an ulcer. Had a lot of people, a lot of arguments, a lot of people that just want to argue at every turn, and that's fine. I'm used to it. I've been doing this long enough. On multiple platforms, on multiple sites, in Discord, Twitter, you name it. But it's all in fun, man. At the end of the day, it's sports. It's a blast. I love doing this. You guys are I'm not able to do this without you. I'm not able to look. I mean, you Patreon supporters and sponsors. I can have stuff like this. I've got my studio lighting, this really stupid expensive microphone, and the boom, the 4K Logitech webcam that I've got here, all made possible because of you guys. Would not be doing it without you and Patreon supporters and just the viewers, Discord supporters, sponsors, direct service overhead. Travis Ford and the boys. I just like saying that. You ever seen the other guys? Dirty Mike and the boys. That's a funny movie. Dirty Mike and the boys. So yeah. I think, and I'm going to say the best, and Camo Gang's got a good point. Auburn, best game of the year. That was a fun game. That environment, storming the court. I think your best win, I think, was the Zags, but Auburn's up there as well. So let's call those St. Peter's Peacocks. Say it, Ty. I'm not doing that. But I will wish them luck, and I kind of would like to see them win it all. Wouldn't that be something? So David Scott says, proud of this team. Only team to beat the number one team of the season and the number one team of the tourney. I didn't expect them to get past the second round. Had to eat a big serving of crow on that. Hey, David, me and you both, man. For me, it was getting past the Sweet 16. I just wasn't so sure. But, hey, I gladly ate that crow and couldn't have been happier doing it. Unfortunately, I missed this one too. I went 2 for 2 2 for 4 in the tournament. It is what it is. We're winning the whole thing next year, says Aiden Bowen. What's up, Aiden? What are you doing, man? I hope you're right, man. So, all right, we're past the hour mark. Again, had a blast this year, guys. This will be the last post game. This is it. I don't do baseball post games. I just don't. There's not enough of you that give a shit. Let's be real. I mean, let's be real. No one like they just don't. In that, I'd have to do 3 post games or 5 post games a week, and I'm not doing that. But we will. The schedule will change. Stand by for that. Next week, I'm going to continue on a regular schedule. Next week will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I will be streaming the Anthony Black, assuming he is doing it on Instagram. I will stream it. And yeah, but no more post games. It's kind of a bummer. We got to wait a little while for that. I will also have some spring the open scrimmage that they're going to have. It's not a red white scrimmage, but they're open scrimmage. I will I'll definitely be there for that. We'll have coverage. I'll do some coverage on that. I give a shit. Love baseball. Laugh out loud. Good job. I know some do, but I mean, really, I don't have a strong baseball following here. It's why I don't cover it much. I just don't. Like, I try to do it, and it just doesn't. My baseball content on here gets horrible views. I'm just not there yet. Just not there with. I'm definitely going to cover them, right? We're definitely going to talk about baseball without a doubt. Just trying to recover as quick as possible. Loving the show. Excited for new content. Hey, appreciate that, man. All right. Woo Pig. I'll see you guys on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Remember, we can all agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, Woo Pig, Suey, go Hogs. Am I right? That's right. Woo Pig. Hell of a year. Go Hogs.